Alright guys, I'm back with another video. I've been having trouble putting my beadlocks together. Did a little bit of looking around online, found a unique way of doing things. Guy used rubber bands, I didn't have any. I used some Velcro straps. This is the Velcro strap I use. I have 3 of them linked together. Get them at Harbor Freight. I think I paid like $5 or $6 for them, for 20 of them. So it's a pretty good deal. As you can see, the problem I'm having is the beads don't want to seat all the way. As I'm trying to put these in, the beads are coming out. And as you can see, I've got the brass weights in them too. So I've gotten a little bit of a head start. I use a 5-piece beadlock. RC Lions on Amazon are the ones I'm getting. They're a little knockoff. This is 2 pieces. You got your outer ring, or your outer piece of the rim, the beadlock itself here, the inner piece that'll connect in. The hub is your basic 12 millimeter hex. I buy these separate. I forget what the weight is on them, but they're little brass rings. I'm putting these on the Class 1 high racks by Proline. I'm building a Class 1 10-2 here. So this is, I've already got the inner ring inside. It's a little hard to see. I've already got it centered up the best I can get. But the way I've been doing this, as I said, is you put the 2 halves in, like you've already got the center piece in. You put one, and you get the other one, you try to line them up. And as you're trying to squeeze them together, they will keep wanting to pop out. And as you can see, the bead keeps popping out on me like that. And I just have a really hard time. And see, that side right there is really popped out on me. So what I do, I just get them, take the 2 halves, and I never get this on the first try. And I've already got all these Loctited in, so that piece isn't going anywhere. You just kind of pull it around some, and this is the Predator compound too, so it's super soft. And see, just like doing this, I'm having a hard time how that bead's wanting to pop up. So I get it kind of in there. And I take these straps. Like I said, I just got one end, ran into the other, and like I said, this is how they start. I just take one end, run it inside the other end, make sure the hook side's down, pull it through, and push it down. I need it a little more open than this so I can get it around the wheel, or around the tire. And then all I'll do is lay it around it and come in while it's in the middle. Like I said, the guy I've seen do this before. I believe it was Upgraded RC is the one I think it was on. But I just go through and start tightening this down around it. Try to keep it centered. I know some people out there don't like the sound of Velcro. It's like, whatever. Rubber bands. But as you can see, it's already starting to pull that bead in. See, it's got more to go on this side. And I tighten it in quite a bit. And it just has to be enough to give it a good squeeze in there, so that when you go to put these in, they line up better. And that side's going to be a pain. Of course, then you don't want to go to do a video. That's when it's going to want to really challenge me. And then one other thing I was doing is whenever I was going to put these in, I was having a hard time, and it kept pushing it out also. And that's where this comes in handy. I lay that down. Finally getting it lined up pretty good here. It's got a little bit of work to do. This one is going to be a pain for me, I bet. I'm going to lay it down on top. Give it a bit of press down. As I look at the other side. And you just have to fight with it and work with it. And this one is just not wanting to cooperate. Not like the others did. But it's just the one thing I have found that makes it a little easier for me. If I wasn't doing this method, you should see how much of a hard time I have with these things. It's like, I like the way the beadlocks look when they're done, but just trying to get them to the completed state, I have a real hard time with. I've already got me some Loctite here. I just cut the bottom off. It takes a cup, put a little Loctite in there so it's easy to just dip the edge of the screw in. And then I just press it down. If I can get it in there. This one is not wanting to line up. I don't have it lined up right. That's what the problem is. So twist it a little. Keep the bead in. There it grabbed. Alright, started to grab a little bit. And see, there's already starting to fall in place. So this has got 5. I'm going to go on a star pattern. Grab the next one. And if you just dip the edge of the threads in, the threads will actually soak the Loctite up into them. It's like, I Loctite a lot of stuff nowadays. I was out at Abner Longley one day and running my 24s, and I found one of the outer screws came out of a beadlock on me. And I lost it. Luckily I had extra, but just the idea I lost one like that, and I was like, oh man, so I had to go out there and I pulled them all out and Loctite all of them now. And see, this one is not wanting to go in. So what am I doing wrong here? I'm dropping stuff. I've been dropping stuff this entire build. This Axial SCX-10-2 Raw Builder's Kit. And this thing has done nothing but give me problems the whole way through. So I see other people build them and they have no problems, and they talk about how easy this is and how easy that is, and I don't edit things the way some people do. They'll be like, oh look, and then you see how easy stuff goes together. And no, I don't edit my videos. And when you guys see my video, you're seeing a straight playthrough. See, I finally got that one in. You see a straight playthrough of all the issues I run into, so you can see what it's like for a noob to do this stuff. I've been doing RC, but these crawlers are a different animal. That's all there is to it. I've been doing RC over 20 years, and I took quite a few years off. And then when I come back, I go to jump into this, and there's a big difference between building a pan car and building a crawler. There's a huge difference. Pan car, like the front suspension, okay, you got a couple A-arms and some springs and some bearings, and you're good to go. And this, no, give you an idea of the front suspension on this. There you go. You got the panhard, steering knuckles, you got all this fun stuff. You got the front diff. Huge difference between these and pan cars. And the people that can just slap these things together without having to have the instructions and know what they're doing and everything, props to them. Yeah, if I was trying to do this without this strap around it, I wouldn't even have the first one in yet. And I'd still be fighting with that bead. Now these aren't tightened down yet. And I'm going to double check, and you can see this looks like the bead's coming out, but I believe that is seating in the way these do. It looks like it's seating in right where it's supposed to. It's actually, if anything, this is getting trapped in too much. But now here's been a lifesaver for me. I've been using this ratcheting screwdriver, and when you put your attachment in there, it's like your Holmes Hobbies or something, you know, with the awkwardly long screwdrivers. Forget that. I'm not into all that. I found me a stubby ratcheting one at Harbor Freight for like $8. I go to Harbor Freight for everything. But just like when I'm starting them in, I'll put them in a star pattern. Just go around, tighten them all down. Give them a little torque. Everything down. Oh boy. Come on, there we go. Now, moment of truth. Let's hope it worked. Yep. That whole bead just seated right in. Just what I needed it to do. That's how I use these straps. That's why I use these things. Now, something else you're going to see, these have all, they're right. When you go to take the strap off of this, you pull that off and you just throw it to the side, get it out of your way. You're going to notice your tire is collapsed in. Just let it sit that way for a while. It doesn't take long, and it will come back up the way it's supposed to. That's not an issue. That's just where it's all collapsed in on itself. It's that Predator compound, super soft. It takes a little bit of time for it to come back to life. For installing these, in order to use this kind of wheel weight, you have to use a rim with a changeable hub where the hub can come out. All you do, just drop the hub down in. This is a size screw that it comes with, standard for the hub. When you get the brass wheel weights, they come with these extra ones. I've seen the brass wheel weights from RC Lion were my first ones. These were Benedict Henry, and they're on Amazon. They're identical. RC Lion, Benedict Henry's identical. There's another one, I forget what it's called right offhand, and they all look the same. I'm guessing that they're all the same thing with different names. I'm not sure, but they all work the same for me. So I'm gonna pull those out real quick. Just take one, and like I said, you see the Loctite in there, and you just dip the edge of the thread in, let it soak into it. That's all I've been doing. Run it through. You can see that. I'm going to drop my wheel weight over the screw, and then I take the hub, try to line it up. I'll turn it so I can see. Sorry. There we go. Let's get it started in there. And I'm not going to tighten it down all the way. Just enough that I know it's in there all the way, but not fully tightened. The reason why is because none of these holes will line up until you get a second one in. So just take another one, get some Loctite on it. And once again, I'm going to go on a star pattern. This has got 6 lugs, so I'll do 3, and then I'll come back and do the other 3. Now these you can tighten them down, finger tight now. You don't want to tighten them down all the way. Now it's got a second one in there. It lines them up. Come in, Loctite, run the third one in. That's all there is to it. I mean, these things are super easy to do. once you get them like this part is. It's just trying to get that bead in. The last ones I done, I had assembled the back first and then tried putting the ring on with all, I think there's 24 screws going around it, I believe. But trying to hold this thing in place and getting all those lined up and in there, it was just too much of a pain. It's like, man, there's got to be an easier way. And that's why I decided to put the ring on the outside first and then fasten it from the inside. And that was easier to line stuff up. And then putting that strap on there, I just realized something. This tire is already reinflating itself. Or I told you not to worry about it. There, it's already starting to. Now, like I said, it wasn't going to take long and it would be puffed out. I'm really interested in seeing how these Class 1 high racks run for me. So a lot of people talk a lot of good stuff about them. With this, I just give it a little torque and pull the thing out of there. And then again, go on the star pattern. Anyway, I'm really interested in seeing how these do. At first, because of the place where I'm at, a lot of us are new out there. We're doing circle rules at first, and then we're slowly working our way up into other rules. Like getting more, it's circle light, but we're not doing scale points. So I'm going to start with a Lexan body for Class 1. And then as we upgrade, I'm going to upgrade to hard body eventually by the end of the season. But that's how I put my beadlocks on. They're all got the brass in them. So they should be pretty good when they're finished up. Here's hoping things work out well for them. And I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a good one.